And welcome to the Goat Gazette, the officially unofficial YouTube channel of the Hartford Yard Goats. I am your host, Midnight Mike. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to be here a week ago bringing you this show, and I was all prepared to do so. The night before I was set to record, I went to bed. Next morning, barely woke up because I had contracted COVID. So for the past week or so, my entire family has gone through different stages, different symptoms of COVID. Finally, I'm over it. I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, you know, there's still some things, a little fogginess, so excuse me if I screw up, but I have to fit a lot of stuff into this, the Goat Gazette, episode 4, as we are heading down the home stretch of this 2022 season. This season has been the tale of two teams, and we will get into that. I also want to talk about something that made some headlines maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it is the controversy that surrounds a ball hawk named Zack Hample. We will get to that at the end of the show, but there's a lot of things we have to talk about. First and foremost is those standings and where we are at. Unfortunately, it's not so good, but let's do it. Let's check the update. The Hartford Yard Goats, we're number one. I actually still haven't fixed that, as you've noticed. As it still goes, we're number one. It cuts off. Whatever. Hopefully the internet issues are somewhat decent today. We can get through it, and we'll have a great episode 4. But let's check those standings. Of course, the second half standings is really all that matters. I'm not even going to go into the full overall standings. If you want those, they're at the bottom of your screen. But right now, Portland is holding on to that final playoff spot at 41-22, winning 5 in a row. So the Somerset Patriots today, that one loss was the last game at Dunkin' Donuts Park of the season. Hartford did defeat Somerset, but I mean, Hartford gave Somerset all those games, I guess, hoping that Portland would lose a few, putting Somerset up top. And then Hartford, we all know how it would happen. But once again, that's backing into the playoffs. And like I said in the last episode, I just don't see it happening. I think we might have to call it. Hey, I'm still going to hold out hope. We have this series against the Rumble Ponies. If Portland and Somerset just lose them out and Hartford wins it out, there's still the chance. Hartford in third place in the second half of the season at 30-22, which is a very sad state of events, if you ask me. I do want to show you this. This is the tale of two teams. The first half of the season, the Yard Goats were almost unbeatable. You knew they were going into series. You knew they were going to take the series. Now it's almost like, oh, well, yeah, here they go. They'll maybe take 2 out of 6. Before it would be, oh, they're taking 4 or 5 out of 6 easily. But the second half has just not been that great to us. Just check this out. Look at this. I got this right here. This was our first half of the season standings. 2022 first half, 43-26. Now that is a powerhouse Yard Goats team. That is the best start the Yard Goats have ever had in the history of the franchise, and it was exciting going into the second half. Even though we lost that playoff spot by 1 game, it was very exciting heading into the second half of the season. But unfortunately, this is what we got. Let's pop that up there. Yeah, second half right now running at 30-32. That is just so depressing. And you know, I have a bunch of ideas. I'm excited for the offseason. I'm going to keep going with this Goat Gazette. I have a bunch of ideas for things that we could do, going over maybe different things about Dunkin' Donuts Park, different things about merchandise, my favorite merchandise, my favorite logos, my favorite hats, players who I think will stick around and maybe be on the Yard Goats next year, and players I think will go off into the sunset to Albuquerque, maybe even into Colorado, like Michael Tolia did. I did get word on there is a Hartford Yard Goats Facebook group, and I forget who told me. I think his name was Yosef. I'm not positive. If I got your name wrong, let me know. But he actually was the only person I've tried getting in. I've tweeted, I've emailed at the Yard Goats, excuse me, trying to get information on Ezekiel Tovar. And apparently They just don't want to risk the injury because Hunter Stovall has been doing amazing at shortstop. They don't want to risk inflaming an injury or whatnot, so they've just kept him out. So he went on the 7-day disabled list in July, and then from that point on, they've just kept him there. So hopefully maybe at the beginning of next season, we will get a little bit of Ezequiel Tovar. We'll at least be able to give him a proper goodbye from the Yard Goats. But I want to bring the spirits up. Let's bring the spirits up. There has not been a lot to be excited about being a Hartford Yard Goats fan since the last time we had a show. Boy, if you watch episode 3, I was all excited. I'm like, next time we meet up, they're going to have gone 7-2 or some great. Yeah, since the last time that I've spoken to you on an actual episode of the Goat Gazette, the Yard Goats have gone 7-12. And that is just highly depressing. As a matter of fact, there was a two-game set. I forget if it was against Reading or who it was against. They got outscored 17-0. It was a 8-0 game and a 9-0 game. It's just been sad. So what I want to do is, first things first, let's do our play of the game. Not our play of the game, our play of the show. And let's see if we can hit that. Let's do the highlight. Hey, all right. Our play goes to Hunter Stovall. We just talked about it. He's covering for Ezequiel Tovar, and he's had a great season, a great time in Hartford. I have nothing to complain about when it comes to Hunter Stovall. You may have seen this one floating around on the internets. But here it is, Hunter Stovall making an amazing play out there at shortstop.
Here's Ryan Goal. He is not a shortstop. He's a catch when he swings and laces it up the middle. Diving at shortstop is Stovall. He's got it. Throws to first base. Wow, what a play by Hunter Stovall. Lunging to his left, knocking the ball down to the short hop, getting up, and on a dime throwing out Ryan Gold for out number 1. What a play by Hunter Stovall.
Highway robbery in broad daylight, and it was legal. Wow, what a spectacular play.
I'll tell you the one thing that sticks with you from this, from the COVID, is definitely a brain fog. So once again, if I'm not on tonight, if I'm not hitting on all cylinders, I apologize. Hopefully that will get a lot better. But there was Hunter Stovall making an amazing play there at shortstop, over to second base and throwing to first for the out. And that's got to be, I mean, how can that not be the highlight of the show? But what I will do here is let's bring up the mood even more. We just saw a beautiful defensive play. Let's have a home run party. I have a few home runs for you here. Like I said, the last week I've been completely out of it. So there's not a lot of highlights from the past week or so, but I had been collecting some up until that point, and I figured let's throw them all together as like an overall like player of the last few weeks. We got a few players. Kyle Datris, again, 4th show in a row, Kyle, you've made it. Kyle Datris, Brenton Doyle, Levine and Veen, Zack Veen. The last home run you're going to see, Zack Veen's first ever home run as a Yard Goat in AA. So let's have a little bit of a Hartford Yard Goats home run party. Here we go.
The 2-0. High fly ball into center field. Rafaela rushing back at the track. He's looking up at the wall, and it's gone. 2-run home run for Kyle Datris. His 14th home run of the season, and that extends the Yard Goats lead. It's 6-1 Hartford here in the top of the 5th.
The 1-1 pitch. Curveball is hit high in the air to deep right field. This one has legs. This one is gone. Brenton Doyle has done it. A 2-run homer to the opposite field and right center. And the Yard Goats lead it 5-4. Levine awaits the 2-2 pitch from McKay. And here's a high drive, deep right center. You can kiss it goodbye. Grant Levine with a long home run into the upper deck in deep right center. And the Yard Goats lead it 6-5. Levine with his 4th home run of the season, and Jeff, he tattooed that one.
Pitch to him is swung out on a high drive, blasted deep towards right. Ortiz back to the track, at the wall, and it's gone! Rockies' number one prospect, Zack Veen, has given the Goats a 4-3 lead with a home run into the top tick of Dunkin' Donuts Park. He circles the bases, his first Double-A home run, and it's 4-3 Yard Goats.
Designated hitter.
Now that was a no doubt about it shot. The minute it left his bat, it had a sound to it, and he hit it to the back row of the upper deck, and that one actually went farther than the one hit by Jalen Ortiz. So the Yard Goats showing power, and Zack Veen is the happiest man in Hartford right now.
And it's great. Once again, there he was with the goat head celebrating in the dugout. Zack Veen, I do expect to see him in Hartford starting out the 2023 season. And I'm hoping that this is this end of the 2022 season. I hope that does help him get comfortable for a really strong 2023. He is the Rockies' number one prospect. And there he was hitting his first ever Double-A home run in Dunkin' Donuts Park for our Hartford Yard Goats. All right. Now, before I get to on a side note and talk a little bit about Zack Hample and also my first ever away game, I do want to bring up one more player. He left us for the Albuquerque Isotopes. We already said our goodbyes, but I do think that this will officially be the last time you see him on the Goat Gazette. I had to show this. I had to show this. This young man went from the Yard Goats, breaking the Yard Goats single season home run record, to the Albuquerque Isotopes, where I believe he hit 2 or 3 home runs in one game, to the Colorado Rockies, all in one season. And here it is, Michael Toglia. Boy, do we miss you. Here's Michael Toglia for the Colorado Rockies. They were in Atlanta, and his first ever major league home run. Congratulations, Michael Toglia.
High fly ball, deep right field. Toglia has hit it out. His first major league home run. He makes it a one-run game. Have a night, Michael Toglia. And there's an official welcome to the big leagues. Hopefully that's the first of many, many more. Toglia time in Atlanta, Georgia.
He wastes no time. He saw him probably as an athlete, saw Kenley Jansen. He said, you know what? I've seen this guy before. I can hit it. Look at the smile on his face. He knew he blasted it. First major league home run against one of the league's best closers.
Michael Toglia, we miss you desperately on the Yard Goats, but I had to have put a smile on everyone's face who is a fan of the Goats to see you smiling as you hit that ball out of the park. It was so nice. I showed it to my wife. She was so happy for you. I saw your family in the audience, in the crowd. They were thrilled for you. As much respect and as much good luck as we can send you here from the Goat Gazette on your future in the majors. We really do appreciate your time on the Goats. All right, it is now time for On a Side Note. All right. On a side note, there's a controversial ball hawk. His name is Zack Hample. Now, there's a lot of people. What is a ball hawk? It's a guy who or girl, I guess, who goes to major league parks and just sniffs out home runs, sniffs out foul balls, sniffs out toss-ups. Any way you could possibly get a ball, they do it. Now, this guy, Zack Hample, has made a career out of it. This is how he makes his money. His YouTube channel is almost, 700,000 subscribers, something like that. Gets millions of views on a lot of his videos. He caught Mike Trout's first ever home run. He caught Alex Rodriguez's 3,000th hit. He's been all to every major league ballpark. And he's also been overseas, like to the Tokyo Dome and other places. And what a lot of people there's a lot of people who love him, and there's a lot of people who hate him. And there was a bunch of controversy with what pitcher was it? It was a major league pitcher who called him like a loser, a clown, this, that, and the other thing. And there's a lot of people, a lot of fans of Major League Baseball who put this guy down. And once again, his name, Zack Hample. If you don't know who he is, there he is. That's a movie you could get. You can watch it on YouTube for free. It's called Zack Hample versus the World. I suggest you take take a watch. And then if you do enjoy it, go over to his YouTube channel and you could watch videos that he puts out almost every week, I believe. And it's just so interesting to watch how he does what he does. Am I a hater or am I a lover? Well, I'm neither. I wouldn't say I'm a lover, but I definitely am a fan of Zack Hample. And here's why. Look, a lot of people give him a lot of grief for going and taking away balls from what they say should go to fans who never caught a home run or a foul ball or anything like that, or kids. Look, I have 2 kids of my own. If Zack Hample caught a ball in front of one of my kids, chances are he'd turn around and hand that ball to them. Almost all the balls that he gets out of, whether it's a foul ball, home run ball, toss up, he hands to kids around the stadium. The guy is not a jerk. He just loves what he does. And I do weird things. People call him a clown because he collects baseballs. I collect old metal lunch boxes. They have to have the thermos. That's one of the most important things. But I collect something that's weird. I collect a lot of horror and 80s and 90s memorabilia. That's weird. Everyone has their own thing. This is Zach's thing. Why hate on this guy? That's how I look at it, right? I think we're all jealous that we didn't think of it. Who wouldn't want to spend their life going to different major league ballparks every day, catching balls and making money off of YouTube? Honestly. I wish I could do that as a job. Now, granted, I couldn't even if I wanted because I couldn't travel 365 days a year or whatever because I have 2 kids. But he doesn't seem to be attached. He's living the dream. He's a huge baseball fan. So, look, guys, lay off Zack Hample, lay off ball hawks. If they want to go to the games, it's possible to get balls at a stadium, and you just have to try hard enough. They're trying hard enough. They're getting it. Look, if you don't like Zach, that's cool. I'm okay with you. I'm okay with you whether you like Zach or whether you don't. But my personal opinion is he's living a dream that most baseball fans wish they could live, and most of the hate that he gets is probably jealousy. Once again, if you disagree with me, that's okay. Please write down in the comments section below. I'd love to host Zach at Dunkin' Donuts Park and show him around if he hasn't been there yet, and maybe catch a ball or 2 with him next season. That'd be great. But if you hate him, hey, that's your business. Go out there. If you're upset that Zack Hample is getting a ball that your kid can't get, then you go get your kid a ball. How about that? How about you knock Zach out of the way and you grab your ball for your kid? Otherwise, Zach will probably hand your kid one. Seriously, if you ask him, he'll probably give it to you. All right, last but not least, here on the Goat Gazette, episode 4, I will be traveling for the first time for my first ever Hartford Yard Goats away game. I will be traveling to Binghamton, New York on September 16th. That's a Friday. I have to take a 4-hour trip there, a 4-hour trip back to the shoreline of Connecticut, but it will be worth it to finally go see the Yard Goats in an away game. And I will be bringing my camera and will be uploading any footage and whatnot that I get from my trip to Binghamton to see the Rumble Ponies take on our Hartford Yard Goats. And I'll put it up on the Goat Gazette YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoy. Next year, I'm hoping to go to a Somerset Patriots game in Somerset, New Jersey. It's not far from where I grew up. And I'd like to eventually hit every stadium of our division rivals, and then obviously move on out from there. So please, if you can, join me in Binghamton on September 16th. I'll be wearing my gray Hartford jersey because is anyone else as superstitious as me? The last 2 games I went to, that gray one, we won. So I'm going to carry on that tradition. I'm going to head to Binghamton and have a great time. All right. That's it here from the Goat Gazette. I am Midnight Mike, and I guess that's it. Have a great time. This was the Goat Gazette, episode 4. Good night, everybody.
God goes baseball, the fun never ends.